Hey everyone, this is Zach Raidart, driver of the Raidart Racing 23Z machine. This is our recap on the 2013 season, both ups and downs, and what our huge plans are for the 2014 season.
Hey guys, this is Brandon, Zach's dad, owner of the 23Z machine, as well as tire man, stagger man, setup man, pit chief, motor guy, sponsor, you know, pretty much the all-around guy that gets blamed for absolutely everything that happens. So anyways, over all of that, or beyond all of that, first and foremost, I'm a fan, and I have been a fan since I was a kid, which was quite a long time ago. And coming from a fan's perspective over an owner or father's perspective is the fact that the kid has grown leaps and bounds over the last 3 seasons. So when we started this whole deal, it was more about, let's get in a mini sprint since you have to be 16 to race a big sprint anyways. Let's see what we can do, and let's go from there. And it was exciting, and it was fun, and it was everything that I had hoped it could be, and then some.
So our whole focus of the 2013 season was more traveling than just collecting points. We started our year off in Tulsa with a brand new chassis, first time wingless, first time in a new car. It was a great experience overall. We had minor issues down there. We weren't able to do hot laps. In the heat race, somebody tried to climb into the cockpit with their front wheels, so unfortunately we couldn't really do good in there because we burnt up the starter. We got a new starter for the B main, and we missed the transfer spot by 1 spot, and that was a great experience for me. I loved it. I would love to go back there again for the 2014 year. And our second race was down in Missouri at LA Raceway with the Mid-American Lightning Sprints. They're a great group of guys. They're fun to race with, and that night wasn't really the best for us either, but it was a really fast 3/8 mile track. We were running 4th in the feature, and we were coming out of turn 4, and the right front spindle broke, which unfortunately ended the night. And then a week after that, we started off the WIM season at Beaver Dam, and when we rolled the car out there for hot laps, the first turn, we burnt the clutch, and we couldn't race the end of the night. And then after that, a week later, was Wilmot's opener. And before Wilmot's opener that day, we went to a car show. We brought the car there, and we won an award for the best appearance car for our class. And then after that, we later found out that Wilmot's opener was canceled, so that really wasn't the best. And then 2 weeks later after that, we were at Wilmot again, and I had my first flip, you could say. I had a severe concussion, and that put me out for a week.
He did have a hard flip, had a concussion, so on and so forth, which I'm not downplaying that whatsoever, but I will say this. He came back every time, no matter what, wiped off his scrapes, and got back in the car and wasn't afraid to do what he had to do.
A couple weeks after that, we were in LaSalle Speedway. It was a really great night with us. We raced with the Illinois Lightning Sprints. That was actually my first ever win in anything. It was a heat race. And later that night, we flipped in the feature again, so that really wasn't the best either.
His second flip, I think, was a game changer. It helped him to drive the car instead of just ride in it. It helped him become more cognizant of everybody around him, and I truly think that's what made him start to really win races and be competitive and be a threat when he's on the track.
And the next week after that, we were at Wilmot. That wasn't really a great night. We still had the Gremlins with us. And the day after that, we raced Quad City with the Illinois Midget Racing Association. That was a great night for us. In the heat race, I started 8th, finished 2nd. And in the feature, I finished 7th. So that really was another good experience, another fun experience running wingless. A great group of guys again. And then a week after that was a Wilmot show again. I won another heat race, and it was my first top 5 finish in the feature with a 4th place finish. And then another week after that, I got another heat win, finished 2nd in the feature, and that was another great night for us. We actually got the gremlins out of us for a couple weeks. And then a week after that, we were in Beaver Dam Raceway again. The night actually went good for us. It was the second time we ever finished a race there, and I also won my heat race again there, and I got a top 3 finish of 3rd that night. So that was a great night for us at Beaver Dam. And then another week later after that, it was probably the biggest week that we've ever had for the 2013 season. We were in a 360 at Manitowoc.
He had a chance to strap into a 360. Surprised the hell out of me, I'll be totally honest. Along with a couple other people that were standing there with me, he surprised all of us. Zach's biggest attribute to this whole deal, and it's been said by every single driver that has ever offered him any advice, is that he listens, he takes it in, and whether it works or not, he tries it. If it doesn't work, he doesn't try it again. But at least he listens. And I have to say that out of a lot of guys that are out there, not only are they older, so they're already set in their ways, but he's willing to take some advice from guys that he knows have proven track records. And I think it's huge.
And then the day after we raced 360, we actually went back in my car and we traveled down to Brownstown, Indiana, raced with another great group of guys. They were amazing, good drivers, and that night the heat race wasn't so good, but we came back to start 15th in the feature to finish 8th and get the Hard Charger award. So to me that was pretty good, and it's pretty cool to get a Hard Charger award with a group that I've never raced with before. And then a week after that was probably the biggest night that we had in WIMS or in Wilmot, which was Fair Night, and I got 2nd in the heat race, and that was my first ever feature win, which was a huge accomplishment, one of my goals for the 2013 season. So that was pretty good.
I remember strapping into the first car, all white, for hot laps. No practice. And it was just hold on and hope the car turns left and hope the kid knows what he's doing. To going from that to having 2.5 terrible seasons with every gremlin you could possibly think of, to going to having a good car, finally figuring out a little bit about setup, and winning a feature, winning multiple heat races just in one season is huge as far as I'm concerned.
And then a week after that, after my first feature win, we came back to Wilmot. We won the heat race again and got 2nd in the feature. So that was another great weekend for us. And then the following week, we were supposed to race in Jacksonville, and the night didn't go so well for us. We had to back up the car. We were going to try and fix it for the day after to run with the Mid-America Lightning Sprints again in Missouri, and we couldn't figure the car out, so we had to come back home. Thank you to Matt White, who figured out the problem, fixed it for us to race 141 on Sunday. It was an okay night for us. For the heat race, we got 3rd, and in the feature, we started 5th, running 4th by the first turn, and coming out of turn 2, the chain broke, so that was another unfortunate event. And then the week after 141, we were at Wilmot. We had more chain issues and hot laps, which brought us to our heat race. We tried to get the car back together. I didn't run the heat race because the chain was messed up and I didn't want to do anything wrong with the car or anything. So we fixed it, went to the B main, started 8th, finished 3rd in the B main, which put us 19th to start in the feature. and we drove it up to 11th, which was, I don't know, it was alright, I guess. And the week after that, we were in Plymouth. Everything was fine. We went into the heat race, finished third from starting third. We went into the feature. We started on the pole. I was leading the race, and probably about a lap 11. The chain broke again, which was very disappointing for us. But that was the last week in the mini sprint. And the week right after that was another huge night. We jumped into a 360 again, and I qualified 7th out of 26 cars.
Zach Raidart moved up in the qualifying order. He is now 7th quick, so good job for the 16-year-old. Second time in a full-size sprint car.
And I went from 8th to 4th in the heat race. And later on in the feature, we finished 12th. So that was probably the best night we had so far. It was a really, really good experience for everyone. Thank you for everyone that was involved in that got me into a 360. So overall, the beginning of the season didn't go so well for us, but it was a great experience to travel and go to different places. It was really fun for us, and we figured out what was going on probably halfway through the season. And after that, the weeks went a lot better. We ended up the season with 5 heat race wins, a feature win, and the best part about the 2013 season was getting behind the wheel of a 360 sprint. It was a great experience, the overall season. And thank you all my sponsors, Kristen Elizabeth Inc., Gene Chumley LLC, G Media Wraps, Ideal Roll-Off Services, Outlaw Race Parts, and Super Shocks. And thank you for everyone being so supportive. Thank you all my family. And a special thanks to my dad for everything and all this to actually happen. And another special thank you to my video guy, Thomas Voorhees. He does great video, as you can see. And stay tuned, everyone, for all of our videos in the 2014 season.
2014 is going to show a lot. We're jumping into a 360 program full bore. We're racing MSA shows full season. We're going for Rookie of the Year, and we're going for feature wins. As far as we're concerned, we're now in the adult show, and it's time to have adult improvements. We're also going to try possibly get a bigger motor so that we can do some more traveling, because quite honestly, traveling for me was outstanding. Even though it didn't pay off great results or dividends, it was still awesome. It was awesome to be on the road, have fun, and just get away. Even if it was only for a night, it was awesome. We plan on big things. If we race a 360 for a couple of seasons, I'll be okay with that. Our biggest goal, end goal, is to be in a 410. And there isn't too many people that I can talk to about this that think that this is just a dream to not come true. And quite honestly, that's why they're still stuck where they're at. I feel Zach is gaining the talent and has the natural ability to not only be in a 410, but be successful at it. And so we're going for it, regardless. It was told to me by a very, very well-known and hell of a good driver that he learned how to get smooth in a 360, which made him successful in a 410. And I think that's our main goal, is to get smooth, just like in the mini sprint. As soon as he got smooth, he started winning races. He's already proved it in a 360 by racing into the show his second time in a sprint car. Placing 7th fastest out of 25 cars is pretty huge, being that he hadn't even had 50 full laps in a sprint car yet. So that's where we're at. And definitely stay tuned, because periodically we're going to be back on Raidart Racing, Facebook, YouTube, all of that. We're going to try and keep all of you fans updated on what's going on. As soon as our schedule comes out, it'll be posted. But most importantly, we're actually going to, when we get the 360, is we're actually going to do a video on taking it apart, what's involved in getting a program together and race ready for the upcoming season, as far as everything from buying it to stripping it down to sandblasting and powder coating to checking all parts to see what we need to buy new, buying extra parts, buying wings. We're going to try and take you on the full tour, along with how long it actually does take. A lot of people think that this is something that you can put together in 30 days and you can go out there and race successfully for a full season. And that's not how it happens. At least in our experience, that is definitely not how it's happened. So stay tuned for that. I think it's going to be a blast. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're definitely going to have some Raidart Racing apparel coming up sooner rather than later before the season starts. We'll give you all the prices on that stuff as they come in. And I personally got to thank the sponsors that we have, because without them, this wouldn't be nearly as successful as it is. I do a lot, but you sponsors help more than you know. Even in just your appreciation of being part of the team is a hell of a lot more than we've expected. So please stay on board, but more importantly, stay a fan over anything at all.
Raidart Racing, your interview. Take one.
Peekaboo.
Take two.
Peekaboo.
This is a video.
Oh, wait,
of the
can't see.
recap.
The end.
I don't know.
You don't have to.
I don't really want to.
There should be a way to just say goodbye.